Good evening. My name is Sarah Taylor, and today I will be presenting my speech named Two Sexes, One War. Today I will be speaking about the impact of women within the military. I will be providing facts about women within the military, statistics, and personal experiences from women. I hope you take the time to understand the meaning of my speech, and I hope that I am able to educate you on events that you might not know about. Let me start off by providing important facts that I gained from the History and Collections section of Women in the Military Service for America Memorial Foundation about women in the military that contribute to where we are now. Involvement of women in the military all started with women taking on the role of spies disguised as men. They were what they called temporary soldiers. The Army Nurse Corps began in 1901 and the Navy Nurse Corps in 1908. This formation created the first active military women. The first branches to enlist were the Navy and Marine Corps in World War I. Over 12,000 women served and 200 Hello Girls served overseas with the U.S. Army. Hello Girls were bilingual women who were telephone operators working for AT&T hired by the military. So, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, hundreds of thousands of women were called to join the armed forces. Women did not receive permanent military status until 1948 when President Truman signed the Women's Armed Services Integration Act. So, how many women have served? Well, just alone starting from the Spanish-American War up until Desert Storm, just over 1 million women had served. Women were also not allowed to be promoted until November 8, 1967. When President Lyndon Johnson signed Public Law 9130 that allowed for general and flag rank. The first women to ever get promoted were Anna May Hayes and Elizabeth Hoisington. Anna was promoted to Brigade General and Elizabeth to Army Corps Director on June 11, 1970. You may be asking yourself, so where does the military stand now with women soldiers? Well, starting in 2016, women were now allowed to choose any military occupational specialty, including combat units, as stated in the post 9/11 section of the Army website. Any type of combat occupation was strictly prohibited for women before this time. Another major impact was in 2010 when the Army began using FET, otherwise known as Female Engagement Teams, and CST, also known as Combat Support Teams, while in Afghanistan. I would like to take the moment to familiarize you with some female soldiers that have gained outstanding achievement awards. Sergeant Leanne Hester was awarded the first Silver Star ever given to a female soldier. She was awarded this medal for her direct combat action while she was deployed outside of Baghdad. General Ann Dunwoody became the first four-star general in military history on November 14, 2008. Captain Kristen Griest and First Lieutenant Shay Haber became the first women to graduate from Ranger School on August 21, 2015. I wanted to share real-life experiences with you so that you can understand from a woman's point of view. I came across a blog called Women in the Military by Jessica Scott. Jessica shared her story about her career in the military. She said that a woman and a man both bring the same things to the military, which are brains to do the work, a body to fit the uniform, and desire for work. She mentioned how she believed that women tend to have it harder due to maintaining a rough and demanding career while also raising a family. Scott thought about leaving the military a couple of times throughout her career due to how hard it was for her to be gone so much from her husband and her newborn daughter. Both Jessica and her husband realized how much of an impact their profession was making on their child and questioned if it was all worth it. Scott does not regret staying in the military. She believes that it only made her stronger and wiser. She knew she had a lot to gain, such as college tuition for her child, health care, and most of all, the pride she gained from knowing she did the impossible. I'm very familiar with women like Jessica. I have a few female friends that are enlisted and love what they do. They know that the odds are constantly against them, but that those odds motivate them to do even better. I aspire to be one of those women one day. I want to be able to tell my children that I made the impossible possible. Many people make the assumption that females only join the military to get a full ride to college or for the health care. But women that join risk their lives just like men do. They fight for our country and put us before themselves. So now you may be wondering why I chose to speak about this topic. Well, growing up, I would constantly hear my great aunt telling stories about her time in the Air Force, how she traveled the world and got to go to places such as Germany and Japan. Her stories influenced me to want to join as well. Her experience about 65 years ago made me curious to learn and inform people about how much has changed within the military. The history of women in the military has significantly changed throughout the last 100 years. Women have provided medical care, information gained from dangerous tasks, and hope for more change in our world. Women in the military have motivated others to do more than what is expected, has set new boundaries for what women can do, and constantly remind us that whatever we set our mind to can be achieved. I will leave you with this. Before women were even considered soldiers, they were putting their lives at risk to save this country. So what's to stop them now? Thank you for listening.